Comedy talk at its worst. It's the Lunatic Radio Show.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Wow, can't hear myself, so that's fine. At least the show's on. Welcome to the LR Radio program. I'm Kieran. That's Cris Italia over there in the snowy Manhattan streets of New York City. Hell yeah. Snowstorm in the Northeast today. I know we're doing a podcast, but I get excited. Yeah, now I can't hear you. Yeah. Yes. Where's your volume now? Now I can't hear you. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get to. There we go. Are you there?
Yes.
Man, now I can hear you. Something's going on with my. No, it's not. Was it drowning it out? What, did Zoom change their whole thing?
I don't know.
I can't run my studio like I used to because now I use Zoom and Zoom just been fucking us up all morning, night. I don't know. You just tried.
You're the only person I know that has the setup that you do.
Wait,
it just sounds like you're more than you should have.
I have way more than I should have. They have, yes.
And everybody else is usually the most simplest shit, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
They go live. They have no issue.
They pop on anywhere. They're going live in the park. They're going live at the street corner.
They use Zoom. They use FaceTime. They use whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here, and I got thousands of dollars of equipment, and I can't work any of it. Yes. I know, I get it. It is the LR Show. Welcome to the program, everybody. Random questions, if you have those, obviously. Random question at Lunatic Radio if you want to do that. Follow us on the social medias at Lunatic Radio, Twitter and Instagram. And apparently, I'm learning from Chris because I am not on the TikTok thing. I try to limit my.
I'll post like the clips of this on TikTok if you want, like the promo stuff that you do.
The promo stuff. What?
Don't you do those videos sometimes?
No.
Those
What?
promo videos?
Oh, the ones I do for the. The ones I do for the show.
Right.
Like on the thing. Yeah.
I'll put them on the stands. TikTok.
Oh, nice little funny clips for the kids. You know, we'll get all of the likes.
Let's see what.
Yeah, you sent me a clip for the radio program. I'm like, oh, shit. Now I'm on. I had to download TikTok to get the clip, but then I realized I couldn't even play the clip. So whatever.
Don't get hooked on that TikTok, man. It's porn.
Yeah, well, that's what you were saying to me. That's what I was going to transition into.
Straight up.
Apparently,
porn.
It is porn. And I want to applaud the people because if it is porn, that will obviously be something I'm interested in. I will buy that stock.
Buy that stock. I don't think they're publicly traded yet.
I don't care. I'm gonna publicly trade my jizz all over. Scroll. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't buy into AMC or GameStop this past week?
No, Doge is the one that I'm all about right now.
You bought Doge?
No, I had a buddy, a coworker, who bought Doge before, like the dude from Bitcoin tweeted about it like days before, and he bought it. He bought like 4,300 shares, and then he bought them. Yeah, my friend did, and so I'm rooting for him to gain some money. I think he's up $500.
He's not going to see a big return for a while.
Yeah, I guess he's going to hold on to it. I don't know anything about
that's a hold'em thing. That's a hold'em. First of all, cryptocurrency is all fucking. It's abracadabra. It's just fucking. It's not real. You know what I mean? There's no.
Right.
There's no limit to how many shares you can sell. So it just.
Right.
Anytime any Bitcoin thing or cryptocurrency wants to increase their stock or whatever, they can just do it, and it doesn't matter. And then the price goes down and down and down and down, and everybody buys it.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah, I wouldn't suggest any newbies or anybody like want to test the market to go and do that.
Well, that's what all the kids are doing nowadays, right? They're all jumping in. That's the latest craze for the last week.
They're also killing themselves too. You hear about the guy who killed himself because he put all this money in cryptocurrency on Robinhood, the Robinhood app, and then it crashed, and then he just couldn't believe it. He didn't realize that not only was he gambling his money, he was also taking margins out on Robinhood, and he owed them like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he just fucking jumped off a fucking roof of his house. That's it. Game over.
Wow, how tall was his house?
Yeah, man, big enough, I guess.
Yeah, right.
I think people view Robinhood and those apps like it's almost like video gambling,
right?
Video games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and all the gamers are on that stuff, and they talk about it while they play on Twitch. You know, and like they'll say, "Oh yeah, I just made $3,000 in the last hour on this thing or that thing or whatever," and it's just not really real. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, it's getting everybody excited.
I mean, look, I've only, I have a guy that I've used for a long time, and he kind of like doesn't tell me anything.
Is that a good sign? When guy's controlling your money?
He's like an estate planner type of guy,
mm-hmm.
family planner. And you basically give him your money, and you have to trust him. And I did. I've known this guy forever, and he's always done well. And so, like, he says, "Listen, don't even think about trying to do this shit yourself. Just give me the money. I'll show you returns."
Right.
And he always does. And he's great. And he's, kind of saved me financially many times.
Did you text him during the week and we were like, "Hey, what about fucking AMC, bro?"
Anytime I text him about a stock,
he says, "Shut up."
He tells me, "Shut the fuck." So then, like naturally over the last couple of years, I'm like, maybe I'm good at this. Maybe I can call something out, So like I sign up for one of these things, and I'll throw some money into it and like play around, like just nothing big, just enough to like, wet my beak basically.
Right, goofing around. So,
like a few months ago, I made a nice chunk of change on which I was shocked that we made a chunk of change on this stock called NIO. It's an electric car company out of China.
Right.
And, I bought it at like fucking, I don't know, 12 or something like that. And now it's reached over 60. And, that was a great buy for me. And then like I actually sold a few shares off just because, I got to fucking pay for this albatross of a restaurant that I'm sitting in.
The money pit
that
you're.
Night.
Yeah, by the way, Chris is broadcasting live from the money pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. He's live.
You know what? It used to be the money pit. It used to be the money, and it was all our fault. But now it's not.
Not your fault.
No, now it's fucking everybody else. They can go fuck themselves.
Do you go to therapy sessions and you have the guy say it's not your fault, like the therapist guy, like in Robin Williams in that movie?
No, other people say it. No.
People that come in and notice that the place is empty and they go, "It's not your fault, bro. It's not your fault."
Brutal. It's just fucking brutal.
Well, I know you were saying, you were like, "Hey, I want to do the show. I got some things to say." And I was like, "All right, Chris, go ahead. You can. I'll give you the platform."
It's been a while since I've been on this. And,
by the way, before you get into this, tell us about TikTok really quick because it's for porn. Is that it?
So anyway, so it's basically porn and stock tips. Don't listen to the stock tips. Just watch them all. There's this thing going on right now called a silhouette challenge, where a girl like comes on video and she's just kind of like, in like full clothes or PJs or whatever, completely covered up. And they're playing Put Your Head on My Shoulders, a remix, like a hip hop remix of it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like a light flickers and it turns into a red like your background right now.
Right. So it's just
then you just see the silhouette of the girl in the dark, just either naked with her panties and underwear, or panties and bra on. And it's just like, oh my God. That's right.
It goes from like the girl you see, wow, you see the girl in the sweatpants on the street, you're like, man, her ass is probably great.
She looks cute.
It's one
her,
yeah, but then now,
then all of a sudden, just bam, into fucking nothing.
I gotta get on there. I'll be doing that later, I think.
I mean,
Yeah.
I showed you, right? Like, can I just do one?
I don't know if you can. You might kill your camera. You might destroy your webcam or whatever you're using over there at the stand NYC. Yeah.
See that?
Put it up next so people can hear it. Wait, I mean, they're not going to be able to see it. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Yeah, then it's all, wait, hold that up quick. I can't see. Go to the right. Go to the left. Do something. There we go. Holy smoke.
Watch from the beginning. Watch from the beginning. It's going to come back.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
I mean, look at that. Look
faintly.
at that.
Yeah. Yeah, good for her.
I mean, but every other video is that.
Yeah.
Because, of course, it's a challenge, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a silhouette challenge, now other hot chicks do it.
Yeah,
And
because,
so
hey,
you're
I got an
scrolling-
ass. I got tits. I'm going to do this.
As you're scrolling through TikTok, every 5 videos is that.
Chicks
And you're
love
just going,
the likes, man. They love the likes.
no, like, you know, and I was pontificating earlier. It's like, you know, we're in now different times, right? We've gone through the Me Too movement. We've, you know, gone through a lot of stuff over the last couple of years to make sure like women aren't, you know, objectified and all that stuff.
The Me Too movement, yeah.
But then this shit comes up and it's like, how can I not think sex when I see that? What can I do as a man, as a red-blooded fucking American? What can I do? You know?
Yeah,
I gotta think of that and look at that and go, oh my God, like that's something I want.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no other thing.
As men, we are getting very toyed with from society and social media.
I don't watch that video and go, oh, I wish her well. You know, I wish her nothing but happiness. No, I think, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can I'll turn to, you know, my girlfriend. I'll go, hey, can you do this for me?
I think I had a buddy at work whose
need
girlfriend
this.
did that. I didn't know what that was until you explained it, but then you showed the picture of the girl.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, my buddy's girlfriend did that. He was showing it to me the other day.
But if it's not that, it was something else.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's another one. I mean, everyone's twerking on there. Everyone's showing their ass.
Right.
Everyone's showing like their boobs, side boobs, and all that stuff.
But yet, as men, we can't be like, great fucking ass.
It's
Man.
crack. It's crack.
Yeah, you can't
It's
say
fucking
that.
crack and porn at the same time. You get addicted and you're scrolling like by the time you know the time it's over, your hand is fucking all, you know, fucking in one. You can't move anymore because it's in this position.
Right. So you're saying the Me Too movement and the titillation we see on the social medias is driving men bonkers because we don't know how to act.
It's
like
you're regressing us. Everything you helped us achieve.
On one side, you're telling us not to curse and objectify you, but on the other side, we can see your body, whatever we want.
Right. Everything you've helped us achieve over the last couple of years, is now slowly deteriorating because what are we doing? We're quarantined at home. We can't go out.
This
has
fucking
become our entertainment, and you're watching TikTok, and all you're seeing is hot chicks. In their underwear, and it's like, I don't know what to do.
This fucking J-O-ing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Go for that. Go for the broads out there, you know?
What are you supposed to do with that?
Well, look at it and go, you know, good for her. You know, I don't know. This is, you know, I don't know. I mean,
good for her, good for me. I'm gonna go to take care of myself. What do you want me to do with that? What do you want me to do with that?
I don't know. I mean,
I can't not look at that and not get excited. Like I'm a man. Like I'm a real man. What am I supposed to do with it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we said it like, I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago. Or like, man, any girl you know that you meet on the street or in high school or in college or at work, you're like, there's a place on the internet you could probably go find her scantily clad. She's somewhere, and that's commonplace.
Now they're doing it for likes and they're doing it for followers.
Yeah,
so they can
and they like it. It's not a shady. It's not a shady.
Some kind of compensation.
So
then you're like, oh, wait a minute, they're showing off their ass for compensation. What is that? Yes, porn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I stumbled upon, not to go back into the porno because I feel like I always do that on this radio show, but I did stumble upon as I was scrolling the other night of a video that was labeled, this certain porn star's name, and she's like, and it says certain porn star's name banging a fan. I'm like, isn't that just being a hooker? Like, isn't that just being a hooker? Like, that's what it is.
A lot, doesn't it?
I think so.
Porn stars do that for like a big, for attention and stuff.
Don't they do it? I think that is something. I don't want anybody to quote me.
That's like a big deal if they choose a fan to do that with.
Right.
It goes viral.
Yeah.
In the porn community.
Yeah, people like that. The fans like that. Obviously, the fan that's getting banged likes that. I don't know. It's weird.
Right.
I don't know.
You wish you were one of those people.
There's no rhyme or no. I don't. I really wouldn't want to. I don't have an apparatus. It's gonna be miserable.
Most people don't.
Yeah. I'm not. Those girls are taking lumber, man. I'm not. I don't have that. That was just gonna be certainly a disappointment. I'm gonna be a disappointment. Maybe one of them. I think even one of them, like with the old Bridget the midget that can literally stand probably right here on my console and just be head height with me. I mean, I think that girl's vagina is too big for me. It's terrible. Yeah, I'm not working out. That's not going so good down there.
You haven't had and you were dating for a while, pretty steady.
What? No, I'm fine. I don't need vagina. I'm like getting to the age where it's like
you gave up again.
No, I didn't give. You never give up on the vagina. It's always there. But like you said, the social media's hold me over. Like you were just explaining for the last 10 minutes.
But that's crazy because I've never been that way, and now TikTok has made me that way.
Yeah. Well, now I got to explore TikTok because I have not partaken in the old TikToking. So I gotta go on there, and I feel like it'll be my new.
I mean, look, it's not good because it takes up a lot of your time.
That's all I got, man. That's all I got is time.
Because you're like, there can't be something better than that, and then like 2 swipes later, it's like, oh yes. And you're like, yeah, you show her, you did that silhouette challenge better than she did. I guess these challenges on TikTok is like finding a fucking storage container full of great stuff. It is rough.
It's just digging through the fucking rubbish, and there's always good stuff behind it. Yeah.
So I got on probably. I started a TikTok for the stand over the summer.
Yeah.
And then I kind of ignored it, and then I think maybe I jumped in like late fall, and then I just like, oh my god, this is so and I've been addicted ever since. I was like getting nervous because remember they were gonna shut it down in America.
Yeah.
It was shut, and then like Trump comes, I got a great plan. Walmart's gonna come in and buy TikTok, so all you TikTokers will have home. So
TikTokers,
Walmart is basically producing porn.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
By the way, Rem in the chat room, did you nail GME? By the way, I told a friend to buy GME thinking it was GM. So he spent like $60 on a share of General Motors.
GM.
I didn't have the.
Anyone take stock tips from you? Who is this moron?
I told him, I was like, I don't know anything about stocks, and I just proved it by having you spend $60 on one share of General Motors.
Listen, to get in on GameStop, you had to get in early. Otherwise, you're buying a stock that's coming back down to earth.
Yeah. No, it did. But isn't it good to like buy stocks based on like social media trends or no? I mean, for a brief period.
It is if you jump on early on the trend.
Yeah,
but then if you come in late on the trend, you're fucking yourself.
Yeah, but you're spending a shit ton per share. So why would you even jump in?
It depends on where you buy. So GameStop was in. When they first started this fucking craze. Basically. You know what it is, like the hedge fund managers shorted GameStop. They were buying a bunch of shorts against GameStop, which means they bought shorts. That means the stock is going to lower in price. Mm-hmm. So they were gambling on the fact that it would go lower in price, which it was because it had been trending down. All the stores are closing, all that stuff.
Right.
So it was a smart short. So what happened was a bunch of like internet, like, gurus and like, all these guys online twitching and playing video games. They all got together and they go, hey, all these hedge fund managers are shorting the stock. If we buy it at a low price altogether, we can raise the stock price. And then they have to buy too in order to prevent their losses. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
So that's what happened. And then it went from like $3 to $300+ dollars.
Yeah. But
you had to have been on that wave. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
If you weren't on that initial wave, then it's really nothing now. Now it's the fun is over. It's going to be just this thing that kind of fluctuates until it eventually falls.
Right.
But they decided to start doing it with other stocks. So basically, they kind of determined or, kind of focused in on like maybe 5 or 6 other stocks that would do the same thing. So they were all looking for what was shorted, right? Sorry, they were looking for what was shorted, and they started buying AMC, AMC theaters.
Yeah.
Right? But like AMC theaters, Nokia.
Right.
This other thing called Naked, BlackBerry, which was down to like $1.
All businesses that are shouldn't be trending.
Basically trending low.
All knowledge. They're like kind of novelty buys. To be honest with you, novelty buys.
Right.
Nostalgic buys.
I got on to AMC probably at the tail end of the rise. So I'm still going to make a little bit, but not enough to make a difference. And then I got in on BlackBerry and I got in on Nokia, but I don't know that it's going to really make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, you're betting on stocks because I feel like you're sitting there and right next to you, to your right, inside the stand NYC is like a pile of dirt and you're just sweeping up.
No, just a pile of bills.
If you're watching the show live on YouTube, Chris is broadcasting from the stand NYC. When you have you been open or are you shut down?
At Kieran's advice. Now I got to drive home in a snowstorm. So
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been snowing all day in New York. You're supposed to get like a
Make sure
foot.
the signs behind you.
Yeah.
Make sure the signs behind you.
Yeah, it's literally got a foot of snow outside your doors, and we're broadcasting to 3 listeners right now. It's really good, and we're an hour late. There
are lucky 3 listeners.
Right. Yeah, there you go. People get to see what it looks like inside a comedy club that cannot be open, right? Are you closed down right now?
Correct.
Completely closed.
Yeah, we're closed. We're shut down. Yeah.
Like, no, because of the governor.
Well, let's go through the timetable here. I mean, what are we talking about?
Governor Cuomo, right?
This cocksucker. I call him needle nips.
Needle nips.
Because his nipples are pierced. You could tell through his shirts.
That's kind of strange to have a governor with pierced nipples.
Hey, look, to each his own, right?
Yeah.
If that's what makes him go,
These is some shit, dude. That's some old school shit.
I'm not going to judge him on that, but I will make fun of him for it.
Yeah.
Now, what he's done over the last,
what has he done to small? He's been opening and shutting small business, right?
It's been now 11 months, and he's decimated New York City single-handedly.
Just the governor alone, not him and de Blasio, the mayor.
Here's the thing about de Blasio. He is a pushover. So if we push de Blasio around, and slapped him around, he would do what we asked.
Right.
Because he's just a little bitch, so it doesn't matter. But Cuomo is different. He's sitting up in his perch in Albany, and he's calling the shots from afar, and he's basically, defiant to a point of just not giving a shit. I mean, the gall on a guy to fucking open up Buffalo Bills playoff game to 7,000 people so he could go to the fucking game. All right.
Right.
But he can't open up a fucking bar, in New York City at 25% is absurd. Like, what are you doing? You telling us that live events in any way possible is a danger to us. But you're saying it yourself, no one else. Science isn't telling you that. It's just you're saying it because every state has different fucking rules. How is that possible? You're the only state that pinpointed New York City and said, you know what? You guys can't open. But Westchester, Long Island, which has almost as many people as New York City, they could open up at 50%.
So he's picking and choosing. Where
he's just shitting on New York City. I mean, he's just really just turning us into fucking savages.
Right. So for you, what has happened to the stand alone? Like you were able to open, and then you had to close, and you had to open up again. And what happened over these last?
Think about it this way. He took away, the first thing he did early on was he shut us all down. Everybody got shut down, right? Understood. We were fine with it. We were like, hey, this is life right now. What are you going to do? So from March through, June, mid-June, we were completely shut down. There was no restaurant wasn't open. The comedy club wasn't open. We didn't do anything. It was completely closed.
Right.
Even the landlord that we work with said, I'm just going to evacuate the building and no one's allowed in. So for what is that, 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
3 months, we had nothing. So then what happens? He says, okay, we're going to open up it's hot enough and whatever. We can open up outdoors.
Cuomo said that, yeah. He allowed you to open outside dining.
You could, no, not even outside dining yet. It was just like for pickup. You can do curbside. You could do curbside pickup. Right? Which meant people now are allowed to go pick up food at a restaurant, which they weren't before.
Right.
A couple weeks go by and he realizes, everybody's fucking losing their minds. And he goes, okay, outdoor dining. Let's do this outdoor dining thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing about outdoor dining is it came with parameters. Like you weren't just allowed to put a few tables outside, You had to build a fucking structure.
Like a fenced-in area. Like a fenced-in area?
Forget about fenced-in area. You basically building another restaurant. Because whatever you're building has to last, right? It has to last. So it can't just be this
one night thing, right? Yeah, it can't be like cardboard cutout fucking tables. Yeah.
Fucking wood. Has to be fucking some kind of fortified, cement.
And you're not going to take the stuff that you had inside the facility and put it outside on the street just in order to fill a table, right? You had
so you go get patio stuff.
Because of the weather.
All weather type of stuff.
Yeah, weather,
rains or whatever. So we started out, we didn't even have a roof, because we're like, how long could this really be? Like, it can't be that long. Let's just put together a fenced-in area and see what happens.
Right.
3 weeks go by. We start realizing whenever it rains, we can't do shit. So we start building this fucking roof. Now you're building a fucking roof, dude. The same way you would build a roof to a house, you were building a roof to a fucking
over the sidewalk, street in front of your place. Yeah.
Right. Now they sent after you build this thing, all of a sudden they got a conscience. So what does New York City do? They start sending out parameters and like rules of how the structure should be.
Oh shit! So could you potentially got fined?
If you didn't abide by those rules, yes, they fine you.
Oh, you motherfuckers,
so
dude.
Think about this in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. When everyone's struggling and no one's making a fucking dime, these cocksuckers started fining people for doing something that they were told to do.
Right. What cocksuckers? God,
think about that. We got fined because we didn't build our structure fast enough. Think about that.
And
so
then
how long does it take to build a fucking structure? 3 seconds?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well,
They
one day
finally-
they were like, yes, you can do outside dining. So you start buying shit and putting tables
Start putting
outside.
shit in, like little by little, you're building this fucking thing.
Yeah,
right?
you got to figure it
I'm
out.
not in construction. I don't got fucking
Right.
carpenters on fucking call.
Yeah, we just don't have a fucking roof in the back we can just haul out here. We got to fucking figure it out.
Yeah, I'm doing this myself, man.
Yeah.
Me and my brother and like whoever wants to help us. That's who's doing it.
Did
It's not
other
some-
restaurants and clubs and areas have roofs on the outside of their
They
sidewalks?
started building roofs because they went to, some people started out just the way we did. Like,
Yeah.
hey, it's summer. We'll just, we're really a nighttime business, so we're not crazy. It's not crazy.
My God, how do you even make it? How do you make any money? How do you make any money on selling a dinner to two people when you got to put all that money into building another restaurant on your goddamn?
We had
what a nightmare.
umbrellas and we had like beach umbrellas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was we were getting by without a roof, We just figured it out.
Yeah.
Right? They told us our structure wasn't complete. And we're like, what are you talking about? It's got 3 sides, we're doing everything we were told to do or whatever. For some reason, I don't know, we were missing like something or whatever, and the warning came, and then we were fined 2 days later because we didn't do it fast enough. Meaning, like,
You didn't do it immediately. Well,
but like
how-
we were
how-
getting the stuff that we had to get.
right.
do it.
Yeah, right. You got to order something or
Right. It was like a Friday. So like,
Right.
really, where do you go on a Saturday and Sunday?
right. Man,
So
they really fucked.
that was
they
that was the first fine. The first fine.
That's the first fine.
That's the first fine.
And when was this? What was over the summer?
I would say that was early summer, maybe spring, maybe late spring, early summer.
Right.
Whatever it was. What am I saying? It was probably 3 weeks into outdoor dining, which was late June or July. Sorry.
Right.
I got the time wrong. So after that, what do we do?
I feel like you're gonna start crying.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. I'm just,
Yeah, no. I mean, you have to go through all that shit just to sell a dinner.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you got to have spacing.
But by the way, so here's the other thing. Like originally they go, you open up for bars were opening.
Yeah.
And then they realized people just getting shit faced on the street because they hadn't been out in a long time.
Right.
So now they go, oh, but you got to have food if you're going to have a drink.
Right.
So now people who wanted just to come get a drink couldn't do that. And they had to buy food. So now you start seeing less people because not everyone's down with that.
Right.
And it's like literally on your table, you have to have, if there's an alcoholic beverage,
You need to have a
it has
sandwich.
to have a food item.
Food
For
item.
each person.
For
You
each.
can't even share fries.
Holy shit. So you can't. Wow. That's
And the thing is, people are like, hey, I don't, why can't we just pick up fries? It's like, hey, guys, we're not making this rule. We don't give a fuck what you do. But I'm telling you that if you don't order food, you can't drink. And, they're going to come and fine us. They just are. So, and then we'll be closed. And they'll take away our liquor license. They were threatening people with liquor license suspensions.
Jesus
Think
Christ.
about that.
Yeah.
They would come in, and if they saw fucking 2 or 3 violations, they would yank your license that day. Sometimes they'd give you they give you a first fine, and then you have to pay that fine, and then you're like on a probation basis.
Are these fines like ridiculous amounts of money? Or are they like
The first fine is $2,500.
Jesus
The
Christ?
second fine is $5,000. The third fine is you're fucked.
Yeah.
That's the third fine is they fine you, whatever it is, and they
So like
take your license, which basically means our business is done.
Is it like, I don't know. I feel like it's more the way you're describing it sounds like it's smarter just to stay closed. At least you know what you need to do. Like,
Listen,
I don't know.
A lot of big chains absolutely did that.
Because they could afford to stay closed.
Absolutely. So like let's say like Danny Meyer, who's like, Shake Shack.
Yeah.
Danny also owns a huge, like, I don't know, group of restaurants. I mean, I could say he owns like fucking 15, 20 restaurants in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Outside of Shake Shack.
Yeah.
He and his mind, it's like, well, let me close down half of them so the other ones can survive.
Right.
You know what I mean? He'll take staff and from one place, put it over there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he closed down a lot of his restaurants. And, just a lot of places just said, fuck it. Like, what's the point of this? Like, we're never going to make what we're supposed to make.
How are you even like, how are the lights on? I mean, I feel like it's a nightmare. I mean, I know during the summer, as things were going along with your comedy club and you're doing outdoor dining and stuff, you were able to bring in some entertainment to put on the sidewalk. Like you were doing stand-up sets, like, people were doing them in the back of cars, but you were doing them in front on the sidewalk and you were having and then you had the Legion of Skanks in there doing their radio show on certain nights and stuff. So it seemed to be working for a little while. It looked like it was working.
So I'm really not supposed to talk about that.
Oh, shit.
But I will say this. It's a very strange thing when they tell you you're not allowed to do any live performances.
Mm-hmm.
But you're allowed to have people dining outside.
Right.
So if I have a comedian 10, 12 feet away, how the fuck is that make things worse?
Right.
Now, they're saying, and they were citing science says that fucking laughter spreads the virus.
Oh, my God.
But if you go on the CDC website, there's nothing about laughter spreading the virus. There's nothing about laughter or live performances increasing your chance of getting coronavirus. So this was kind of just like, some professor from fucking John Hancock University or fucking Cornell or some shit may have said this at some point, and the politicians latched onto it and they took it away and basically made this mass push to shut down every theater, every fucking concert hall.
They were literally saying laughter could kill you. So you can't have a comedian at your place.
Right. Outdoors. Not even indoors.
Yeah.
Forget about indoors. I'm not even talking about indoors, okay? Because we couldn't even use indoors at all.
At some point, did you go to them going, how can I survive? Did you ask them that?
It's cool.
I don't know.
Cool.
I don't know.
There's no one to talk to. Do you think they're going to fucking get on the phone with you?
I don't know. The guy that's like, you got to talk. There's got to be somebody.
We have a friend in the mayor's office.
Yeah.
She's the nightlife mayor. And basically, she's the person you turn to, to fucking kind of like get some advice.
Right.
Like, hey, we're a nightlife business. How do we survive? And, as best as she could, she explained the situation. And the risk of doing shows is...
Even if you had the comedian on the sidewalk 12 feet away with a mask on and a microphone, that was not good enough?
Here's what we did.
Yeah.
We literally had the comedian inside the stand.
Okay. So indoors. Because you have those those big opening doors.
Right. Those big opening doors in front.
Right.
There's a canopy. There's a...
What kind of doors are those?
There's a wide, whatever.
Like bay doors or something. There's
bay doors.
Yeah.
And they spread completely open. There's 5, 6 doors.
Yeah.
Then there's a marquee, right?
Mm-hmm. Above them.
And so above it. So literally the comic is standing at the edge of the entrance, right? Literally inside the stand.
Right.
Right? So he's not even outside. He's inside.
Right.
He's got a mask on. He's got a microphone. He's away from everybody. But because he's making them laugh, that's illegal.
Oh, my God.
Now, the loophole is, guess what? There was this thing. There was somehow something people forgot. Trivia is allowed.
Trivia is allowed.
Which means someone comes up to your table, asks you questions.
Uh-huh.
You answer and you get a free drink or a meal or whatever the fuck it is. That's allowed.
I think it sounds...
So we use that. Right?
Uh-huh.
The other big thing was they don't want any amplified sound, which means if you're on a microphone...
Oh, yeah.
But for trivia, you're allowed to use a microphone. And
This sounds so fucking...
if one of our employees wanted to read specials,
yeah,
or like, hey, right now, if you order a round of shots, you get this for free, or whatever, they can actually use a PA system. So that's the loophole of kind of how we got away with doing some stand-up shows outside.
right. Wow. Dude, what a fucking bizarre world that
One night, we had like a buyout. Somebody wanted to buy out the whole outside.
they wanted to buy it out. Oh,
Well, they bought it out
like
for a
for a
birthday
party or something, yeah.
Right. They bought it out for a birthday party. The guy hired a mariachi band to play.
Yeah.
Again, not amplified. They're just playing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
acoustic, whatever. And so they're singing, right? And I guess this caught the attention of a fucking SLA agent who was walking in Union Square and heard the music.
Oh, Jesus.
So he fucking comes rushing in with his fucking badge around his neck and sees people outside having dinner.
Enjoying
Now,
themselves.
Here's the problem. There was nothing, when he got there, he realized there's nothing wrong with what they're doing.
Yeah.
But because he needed to make a fucking stink about something.
He did.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because there were two people standing while others were having dinner, we got fined.
Two people are standing.
So let's say I'm sitting at
How do you
one
do
table.
this? How do you go? Go, yeah.
You can get 5 people per table. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm on a table and I go, hey, you know what? I want to say hi to my friend on the other table because it's a birthday party.
Right.
So the guy gets up, goes over, and like talks to the guy for whatever seconds or minutes.
Right.
And because he saw that guy standing and another guy, that was the fine.
Oh my God.
And we're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dude.
How do you
like? We looked at him like, is this fucking satisfy you, man? You can't just give us a warning and I'll tell the guy to sit the fuck down.
Right.
What and you understand what we're up against, and you're gonna fucking fine me for a guy standing with his fucking friends? He's with his friends.
Right.
What am I supposed to do?
My God.
So that's it. So now we're fucking warned, and we have a fine, and we have basically like, you know, you better be careful. We're gonna be checking in on you guys.
So right now, currently, you're completely
So
shut.
not only are you giving me a fine, now I have to be in fear
Right.
for the rest of the fucking arrangement. If some fucking guy decides to stand up, I'm fucked. That's what you're telling me?
You got to completely control everything that happens outside.
Everybody. Every movement, everybody.
There's no freedom to
You
it.
have to be a fucking Nazi and tell someone to sit the fuck down.
And you can't even operate on a 25% level what your club is supposed to be, being like a place for laughter.
Outdoors, at most, we had 45 people outside. At most.
Right.
Which is, we have a 9,600 square foot space.
Yeah.
That is basically 10th of what we can fit in here. If that.
Leroy
less.
Jenkins in the chat room, it says recall de Blasio and Cuomo, and he also adds they want NYC to fail. I don't know.
There's some truth to that because here's the thing. What's happening? There's going to be a windfall at some point. This is exactly what happens. You know, properties go vacant, both residential and commercial. And then big corporations come in and fucking swoop in and take it back. But what it does is it eliminates people like us, small business owner who just wants to fucking open up a comedy club and, you know, with his brother and his fucking friends.
Develop a culture to add to the culture. Yeah.
Right. So it's like it eliminates me. I'll never be able to do this if I go underwater.
Right.
And nor will anyone else. The only people that will come back to New York City or think of starting a business is a corporate chain.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like TGI Fridays or you like fucking, you know, that's what Manhattan's gonna look like. It's gonna look like Times Square.
Right.
A bunch of those fucking type of chain restaurants that can afford it.
God, This opens up a
Because-
whole can. I mean, the way you're explaining things is just like, I feel like it's right on par with other things that are happening in the world too. As far as like, I was reading an article in the New York Post just the other day about how have you checked your social credit score, like your social media credit score, like as far as what you say online? Do you have the whole article was about make sure when you're on social media you have the right opinions. You have the right opinions.
I'm now at the point where it's like, dude, you know what you're doing to me. You know,
Right.
You think I'm not going to say anything about it? What are you ready? What are you going to do to me?
Yeah.
You've already fucking taken away everything.
Mm.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
You're just basically drowning me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fail. There's no saving us. We're, another month of this and it could go. That's how.
Yeah.
That's how. See, like I have to find ways to remain open, and
Right.
all I'm trying to do is continue to create jobs and continue to keep employees that are on medical, have health insurance and all that stuff. That's the reason we're staying open, dude. What do you think? I could have shut this fucking place down months ago, Kieran. I could have just shut it down and said, you know what? It's not worth it. And guess what? If in 10 months, when things start opening up again or whatever, the landlord hasn't rented out this space, maybe we can go back to him and say, we'll take it.
Right. Wow.
That's what we can do as business owners.
Right.
Because why pay for fucking rent? Why pay for utilities? Why pay for supply? Why? Because we're trying to do our due diligence and not just tell everyone that works for us to go fuck themselves. We can't do anything for them.
Leroy Jenkins, people are already moving to red states without restrictions. Got to move to Florida to do business.
I'll tell you right now, I had to do some things in Los Angeles earlier, in late August, right? So I drove out there, and like 2 nights, I just drove to LA.
Really?
And yeah. And I did like 12 plus hours a night.
Jesus Christ, it's a hell of a fucking ride for 2 days.
And then on the way back, I took my time. And I had business in Austin, and I had business in New Orleans, and I had business in Florida. So I took my time coming back. Austin is fucking wide open. And they have a low rate of infection. Their restaurants are open at 75%.
Wow.
And I asked people, I asked business owners, I asked, friends that live there, I asked, people I was doing business with, what's going on? Like, how are you guys able to do this? He's like, I think it's just common sense. Wear a mask, respect the rules, don't be a dick and fucking get in someone's face. When I miss, they keep the distance. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So if a city like Austin could do it at 2+ million, I think they're up to 3 million people. Like that's a testing ground for how it's done, right? I mean, dude, I was watching people like it was nothing, like nothing was going on. Out at bars, indoors, outdoors, drinking, having fun, having meals. I mean, I took part in it too. And it's like, yeah, I don't feel unsafe here. People are wearing masks. People are keeping their distance. They're just in their groups of friends. You know what I mean? They're not fucking commingling and stuff. You know what I mean? Because that was one of the rules, right? And I'm like, they figured it out, man. It's fucking weird, And then I drove to fucking New Orleans, and New Orleans has got heavier restrictions, and it's a fucking zombie town.
Right.
There's no tourism, obviously. No one's traveling there, and no one's out. And it looks like it's a dead town. It looks like it's going to fucking just completely go bankrupt.
Right.
Then you go to fucking Florida and everybody's wide open again. I mean, people are on the beach, they're partying. I rented in a place right on the beach in Fort Lauderdale. And I mean, it felt like any other time I was in Fort Lauderdale.
Right. Yeah.
And then I went to the casino, like Hollywood, the fucking Hard Rock. I went to the Hard Rock Casino for, scouting a location for a comedy special we're trying to do with another comedian. And 50% capacity, and it looked like It was done safely. Everybody's temperature was taken coming in. They had those like fucking sonar systems that basically takes your heat index as you walk
I
in.
went through one of those when I was in Las Vegas. It's actually kind of cool.
You know, they figured it out. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, New York City has always been the way it's been. It's always been like that. Kind of
I just feel
not
like New York
free
City's
like the other
always-
parts of the country.
it's antiquated. Everything we do is antiquated. Nothing is updated. I mean, the fact that you still can't get a test here without waiting hours in line is what prehistoric world are we living in? I went to LA and I fucking never got out of my car and got tested.
Right.
And got my results a day later.
Right. That's how I got
In New
tested
York-
here in Arizona.
In New York, you can't do that. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so it's just like, and then like, you know, basically all Cuomo does is blame the fucking president, right? He blame Trump. He's like, oh, I can't do anything with a Republican in the White House. You know, they're fucking with me.
I'm reading
No, it was you telling Trump to go fuck himself. Now he's saying, now fuck you. So basically that was what it is. And by the way, things haven't got better since Biden got in. I know it's just a few weeks, but like nothing's changed. You know, we didn't suddenly get better testing once Biden got into office. So the bullshit that he was talking about, Cuomo, right? That, you know, things were going to fucking be easier once Biden was in office. We haven't got any relief from the government. There's nothing coming. We got nothing. Now, let's talk about the fucking loans, right? Because everybody's like, oh, but you got that fucking PPP loan. Yeah. Let's talk about the fucking loan, all right?
For the small business loan.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about the fucking loan. So, the loan.
I feel like I need some Italian music for this.
Yeah. So let's talk about the loan. Right?
Yeah, hold on. All right, go ahead about the loan.
I'm in business now, I don't know, 9 years.
9 years with the stand.
Right. So the PPE loan,
Mm.
PPP loan, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
They based everything on 2019. Now, I was closed for 6 months of 2019 because we were reopening in a new location.
Yeah.
So I only had 6 months of fucking revenue to show for it. So when they gave me a loan, they based it on 6 fucking months of operation.
They think they purposely did that?
You don't give a fuck, Kieran. When we cried out and said, hey, look, we were remodeled, you know, we went into a new location, you know, can you look at our last 2 or 3 years? They're like, no, it's just 2019. So now,
have you gone to the dude at Barstool and told him this fucking story? You should tell that to Dave Portnoy. He's got some money over there.
I mean, I was thinking about it, but I don't know.
Dude, it's a nightmare of a story. I mean, even when you opened up the stand, when you and I were doing a show back, you know, I don't know, last year or something like that.
It was a mess.
You were about to open up the stand, and then you told me a story about a dude coming. He's like, "Yeah, you need to fucking dig up your sidewalk because we have to replace some pipes."
Oh, really? Literally the week of
the week of your grand opening. So
yeah,
if
you see pictures from the grand opening, you'll see like fucking like you know, a whole area in front of the place chained off.
Yeah.
Because the sidewalk was.
If you've heard, like, I know it would take about 6 hours.
I mean, look,
for Chris to describe all of the problems he's gone through with opening up the new facility he's sitting in here.
People to feel sorry for us, Kieran.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying. I don't think you're coming across that way.
We took the chance on a small business.
Yeah.
You know, that's our fault. You know what I mean? Like, we have to deal with what comes with it. But guess what? Like, I didn't foresee, you know, what happened with my partner and, you know, him passing away and fucking, you know, it being such a fucking tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
That set us back. You know what I mean? Like, we were fucking zombies for 2 months because we couldn't believe what happened to him.
Right.
And we still had to operate. We still had to go.
Still had to go on. You still had to do shit.
We didn't have a choice, man. We had to do our jobs. we never mourned that shit. We never got to mourn it. We never got to fucking go through it and fucking talk to people and fucking, say the things we needed to say. We just had to go back to operating. So we're not even operating at a full tilt, okay? Because the owners are completely fucking zapped out. We're exhausted emotionally and physically because we had just been through this build out for a year, And now we're dealing with the loss of our partner. And then not even fucking, what are we talking about? July to March, right? We opened up on July 16th into 2019. And then in March of 2020, we're shut down because of COVID.
Right.
I mean, what is that? That's 8 months. 8 months, dude. 8 months. A new business basically has to shut down because of COVID. So now we're going through the motions with this PPP stuff. And we're like, okay, whatever it is, and it'll probably help us. So let's go through the motions or whatever. So we do it, and then there's these rules, like you got to fucking 70% of this loan has, in order for it to, the idea is that the loans were, if used the right way, they would be forgiven. Otherwise, you're just taking a loan out and you would have to owe them money.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, who cares?
So you got to produce the first.
I don't want to take a fucking loan out because I already got enough debt, from the build out and all that other stuff. So when they give you this loan for basically, based on less than half of what you would have in revenues, 70% of it has to go to employees paying salaries. So now I'm bringing in people that I don't need, right? Because I'm not busy enough.
Right.
I'm bringing in people I don't need just so I can get 70% of the loan forgiven.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And guess what? I don't mind doing it. It's part of it, taking people off unemployment.
Right.
I get it.
It's a good thing.
But 70%, dude.
Yeah.
70%. I got people standing around because there's not enough work.
And you're paying them.
But I have to bring them back, and I have to pay them because otherwise I owe the government money.
Jesus Christ.
So and then 30% of it goes to rent and fucking other expenses, but it's not nearly enough. So you get through, you fucking stretch that dollar for as long as you can, and you basically get through another 4 or 5 months. The loan's gone.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So
how do you get up in the morning?
Right around October.
How do you get up in the fucking morning? I don't know how you do it.
Right around October, all the restaurants and small businesses go, okay, what's next? We've gone through that money.
Right.
What happens now? Well, what happened was you had a fucking lame duck president that was fucking losing his mind.
Right.
And, nobody wanted to make a move until the election, right? The whole country was fucking frozen because they couldn't operate. Oh, the election's really stressing me out. No one could fucking operate. Like, grow the fuck up, man.
Right.
Like, fucking grow it up. The things that people would say to us, like, tighten those bootstraps. Like, fuck you, tighten the bootstraps.
They've been tight for fucking years ever since I opened. Yeah.
What are you talking about, man? You don't know my business. You don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean tighten my bootstraps, man? It's fucking ridiculous. What kind of advice is that? So, you get some guys involved, right? You get some, then you go political, right? Okay, let's fight this with fucking politics. So you get Chuck Schumer involved, and you go to your city councilman, and you go to your state reps, and all these other people just to try and get them to, fucking say something, right?
Right.
So a group of people, there's an organization called the National Independent Associations of Venues or whatever, right? No, it's called NIVA. And, then they started the Save Our Stages Act, and they introduced it to be part of the next stimulus plan. Right?
Never gonna reopen. I had to do it. It popped in my head.
So that shit took forever, and they waited till fucking Biden was elected. And then basically through December and January, nothing happened because Trump was like, "I don't fucking give a shit. I'm out."
Yeah,
You know?
79 days of hell. He didn't do anything.
Right. He didn't do anything. And, most lame duck presidents won't. I don't know how, they don't fucking give a shit.
Not motivated. They're not motivated to do anything.
And,
Yeah.
and not only that, he wasn't motivated because everybody was attacking him.
Right.
So, and he obviously, he brought a lot of that on himself. But because of that, he, completely just didn't think about it. And then Congress was playing around with the fucking 600 or 2,000 or the whatever, money going out of the country to fucking Nicaragua and all these other fucking places. And it's just fucking pass the bill already so that people can fucking enjoy at Christmas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So finally this bill gets passed in January, and then you look at it and you go, oh, this fucking sucks. This sucks too. So now we're in this fucking place, right? Where the new PPP is, you have a choice. As we have this,
currently
we're stuck in,
like
we're
this.
stuck in this weird place. We're a venue and we're a restaurant. Venue, restaurant, right?
Uh-huh.
So as a restaurant or a venue, you could apply for another PPP loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a venue, a performance venue, which we are, you could apply for Save Our Stages, which got passed with the stimulus bill.
Mm.
But as you look through the fucking rules, it's fucking all these fucking crazy shit. And you can't apply for one if you're applying for the other. So that means I can't apply for the loan if I want Save Our Stages. Now, Save Our Stages, when you look at the numbers, you may be able to get more, right? So you want the most you can get because you're basically on life support. You might as well go for as much as you can, right?
Right.
And the loan, you have this danger of paying it back, and you may not get it as much. They basically decide. You can apply for the PPP loan and you can say this is what I need. They don't have to give you that. It's all subjective.
Right.
They just decide what you're gonna get. So if I tell them I need $100,000, they go, nah, you need 60. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like
the mafia.
What are you talking about?
Right.
60.
Let me ask you this:
$100.
if you applied for the stage loan, like the venue loan, and
The
you
venue
sold
loan, now
it, no, but if
different.
you let me ask you this, because I don't know, and I'm sure the people out there don't know, if you got that loan and then sold a cheeseburger, would you be fucked?
No, but here's this other, you have to. You basically become your own fucking lawyer because you're reading through this shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, let me. If I don't apply, you got a certain amount of time to apply for the PPP loan.
Right.
You got a deadline, so you got to really decide if you're gonna go do this other thing. You're gonna go get this other grant.
Right.
Right. And you want that other grant because it's potentially more
money
in relief.
Right.
But then you start looking at it and you start looking at the rules. And one of the rules, which was insane, was we have to have fixed seating in order to get the grant. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? I've been in rock clubs that have seats that they can, put in and remove. How many concerts have I been to where half the place is standing, half the place is seated?
Right.
You know what I mean? What are you talking about? How is this a rule? So yeah, then you gotta lie and say that it's fucking we gotta fix seats. You know what I mean? But then they come check it. They go, hey, you didn't have fixed seats. You're not getting the grant. Fuck you. And you've lost out on the PPP loan because time expired.
Right.
So you
and then you lost that on the other one.
So you're reading through all these rules and you're like, fuck, I don't think this looks right, and I don't know what to do. So you go back to the fucking organization that basically wrote this bill, and you go, hey man, this doesn't look right. What are we doing here? And everybody's like, holy shit, I didn't even see that. And they're all flipping out because they're like, well, I don't have fixed seating. I don't have fixed seating. And so we have this thread, this email thread with all these fucking independent theaters losing their minds.
Yeah.
And it's going to scare them, and they're going to go do the PPP loan, right? So what happens if that money's not? If you don't, the Save Our Stages, they allotted $10 billion or whatever it is. I think it's $10 billion. If you don't spend a certain amount of that, no one gets anything.
Holy shit.
So there's the other fucking problem. So like, it's like, I guess I'll do the PPP loan either way because it doesn't look right. They can tell me at any time not enough money was allocated, so they're pulling the Save Our Stages Act, and you're fucked. So essentially what they're saying is this might just be a lame duck fucking, thing that they passed.
Right.
And you might as well just go for the loan and call it a day. But if you look at the loan, all the loan really does is it keeps you treading water.
Right. You're not. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. I didn't assume you would be living the high life. You're just trying to keep the light on.
But that Save Our Stages grant could be game changing for a small business. It could actually allow you to reinvest in your fucking company and do things that can make you survive a little bit better. Maybe do more of a video thing and whatever it is, like add things that you normally wouldn't have added just because there's another way to make revenue. Get creative. That's the whole point. But with the PPP loan, you're not getting creative. It's just paying the bills. It just goes.
Right.
So you're really stuck in this situation. It's like, well, I guess if I take the loan, that'll just save me another 4 or 5 months. That'll just keep me going another 5 months or whatever. But if I somehow get this other thing, maybe that gets me through the year. Because here's the thing, Kieran. When things come back at 50% or 100% or whatever, I don't imagine that there's going to be this flood of fucking people just coming to this venue. I think it's going to be a slow build again. I think it's going to be
you're going to have to deal with that.
I think people it's going to be like opening up a new business again, like just opening up from day one.
I mean, the comics will be gung ho to do it, but yeah,
the comics are all fucking moving.
That's true, and they got that problem too.
Most of them are in fucking different parts of the country because why be here? They can't get on stage. The only reason they're in New York or LA is to get stage time, and they're not. There's no reason to be here because you're paying New York and LA rents, and you're like, for what? I can't even work. So what's the point? I'm not going to be there. So they've all moved to other places. I mean, there's half of the comedians there once was still in New York.
That's crazy.
I mean, some of them suck, so good riddance. But weed out the herds or something. But like it's a, and here's the other fucking caveat, which is New York, man. It's just what a fucked up place. Most states, I would say a good 60 to 70% of the states have some kind of state aid for the restaurant business.
New York does not?
New York has not.
Jesus Christ.
Zero. Zilch.
And why is that? Because you have...
Because he doesn't give a fuck.
Because of Cuomo.
Because he's saying we're already in debt. We're waiting for federal relief. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically fucked us. You never had a reserve. You never fucking put money on the side to help your kids if they got into trouble. This is it. You're fucked. So now you're like, okay, fine. Listen, it is what it is. New York has got no money. They're not going to get any money from federal relief. Okay, what's the fucking game plan? Give us a timeline. Let us figure out, how we can do this. So in the fucking dead of winter, this cocksucker fucking says, we're closing down. You're not allowed to have anyone inside.
Jesus.
So what are you talking about? It's fucking 25 degrees outside. How am I supposed to have anybody outside?
Right.
Get heaters.
That fucking cocksucker, man.
So let me show you what's going on. Here, there are fucking enclosed shacks all around New York City with propane tanks. On
no
fire.
Shit. That's a bomb. That's a bomb.
And people are eating next to it.
Oh my God. And they're not.
Now,
yeah.
And Kieran, they're enclosed.
Right.
They're enclosed.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait a minute, you just built a restaurant outside with doors.
Right.
And 4 walls. 4 fucking walls. So someone's walking in, eating dinner in a four-walled place, just like they would a fucking restaurant.
Yeah, and propane
What
smell.
are you telling
Propane
me, man?
smell everywhere.
You're
Yeah.
allowing that shit?
Yeah.
You're allowing that to happen?
I can't imagine
That's
that.
okay. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You tell me that's okay? That's what people are doing because they threw up their hands. They go, I can't have an open structure in 25-degree weather. I have to enclose it. So I'm going to enclose it. And I'm going to put heaters in there. Propane heaters. Now, we said, fuck that, because there's a rule that says you have to be licensed to handle propane. And you're not allowed to have propane in any shape or form inside a restaurant. So at the end of the night, I got to leave the propane outside where it can easily get stolen.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the propane thing. So you go, okay, electric heaters. Let's see let's see what we can do with electric heaters. How do I get electric outside to that structure? It's not, I have to go through the sidewalk or hang it over, which you can't do. And so to go through the sidewalk and into the street, you got to call your landlord. You got to look. And this is the guy that, has basically, been fair to you, has been,
fucking
a good standing citizen. He's a landlord. We're lucky. We are fucking lucky. We got a landlord that understood our fucking challenge and said, I saw your business work. I understand it. I'm not going to kill you guys. I'm just going to ask for a few things. If you guys are open inside, I expect rent, this or that or whatever. He had his, he was fair. All I have to say is that he was fair.
Yeah.
And he's done more for us than most landlords would. Okay. But even he has a certain place where his guys say, hey, I can't do that. So I'm asking him, can I fucking go through the basement of your fucking building and run fucking electrical wire through the fucking street and out on the sidewalk so I can build a heating system inside this fucking structure? No, you can't. You know what I mean? So you go, okay, fine. That's out of the question. Landlord doesn't want to do it. I get it. He doesn't want anything fucked with. Totally understand. So now you do it. Okay, now we would have to do this somehow illegally or with tubing or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the fucking price and you go,
is it worth
it? I can't afford that.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? We're talking about not having a business.
Right. Yeah.
So now he's like, you're closed for the winter. Right?
And it seems like every time they allow you to do something, it's not even worth doing it because of the amount of rules and regulations they put into it. And I mean, it's what you've been describing for the last hour and 12 minutes has been nothing but a fucking nightmare.
Been an hour and 12 minutes?
Yeah. It's an absolute fucking nightmare.
Sorry, guys.
And it doesn't matter. I hope people are taking the time to listen to this, because this has been, I would imagine, most people's small business nightmare has been kind of similar to what Chris is going to, if not, lesser or worse.
Here's the thing. Because we were not using space inside the space we rent, most restaurants cut a deal that basically said that they were basically, it was just most landlords understood that they couldn't use the inside of the space, so how could they charge for rent? They made a deal for a minimal amount, like we did, that allowed us to basically survive the summer, right? But the rule was, basically every landlord made this deal, said, once you're inside, I need rent. So when fucking Needle Nips decides 25%
Cuomo,
is enough, what is that really for us, man? 25%.
It's nothing, yeah.
And the 25% that he allots to us comes with fucking every scare tactic in the world. He's on those press conferences every fucking day saying, don't go out, don't go out, don't go out.
Right.
But you just said 25% indoor dining. So you open up at 25% and you're like scrambling to figure out a way to get people into your place during a pandemic. And while the governor, your leader, is telling people not to do it. I'm going to open up at 25%, but don't go. Don't go.
Right.
Don't endanger yourself. Restaurants have shown a spread of the virus. So don't go. We're open up at 25%, but don't go.
Right.
So you don't survive at 25%. Most restaurants, the next wave of restaurants
how do
closed. The next wave of restaurants closed between September or October when they started 25% in October. From October through December was the next wave of restaurants closing.
Right. And now currently right now, majority of places are closed. Restaurants and stuff in New York City, in the metropolitan New York area.
We're talking about hundreds, Kieran.
Right.
Hundreds.
So even with the vaccine rollout, what is the vaccine rollout in New York? Is it like any?
Maybe about 1 million vaccines have been administered.
Right.
Maybe.
I mean, is there
like
the
whole state?
Is there a little sunlight? Is there a little sunlight? Maybe a couple months down the road.
And here's why.
Yeah.
There's no sunlight. This fucking guy, Governor Cuomo, he wrote a fucking book and profited during this fucking time.
He wrote a book.
He wrote a fucking book.
On what?
Did you see that?
On what?
About how to handle the fucking pandemic.
By the way, CNN just had 3 days ago. CNN had an article that said Andrew Cuomo's COVID-19 performance may have been less stellar than seemed. That's from CNN.
So now that clip I sent you, that I don't know if you can play it or not.
I do have it.
Go ahead, play that clip because this is now the next fucking. This is where we're headed.
Yeah. Well, I have the still here. Here's Cuomo did Chris sent this to me. I guess it's from CBS News. This is Cuomo doing a press conference, and he had, I guess he's doing a joke here. Is that it?
Oh, dude, it's just
there it is.
No pressure, but it's just an idea. Get engaged on Valentine's Day, on the restaurants reopening, and March 15th, you can have the wedding. 150 people. New York State is exploring a low-cost New York State engagement ring that we would actually make available. It has a little heart on it, little I love New York, little COVID remembrance. That's not true. No pressure.
So he's promoting the fact that they're going to allow him open up at 25%.
What are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're making jokes and you're teasing people while people are fucking going poverty and fucking killing themselves because their fucking business failed.
Cuomo was doing a joke there. It doesn't. His.
What are you talking about, man? I need a fucking leader, not a fucking clown.
Right.
I don't need a fucking clown up there teasing me and fucking with me every fucking day. I don't need that. And guess what else I don't need? I don't need you to tell me you're going to allow me to open up on Valentine's Day at 25% again, when the rest of the fucking state's at 50 or more.
Right.
I got a friend that has a restaurant in Queens, right on the border of Nassau and Queens, right? He's on the Queens side, unfortunately. On the next block over, every restaurant's fucking packed.
No shit.
And he's fucking closed. So tell me how that fucking makes sense. He can't have indoor dining right now, but in the Nassau side, it's 50%. So he's literally watching as his business dies and sees across the street here, across the fucking street, packed restaurants at 50%.
Unreal.
How the fuck is that fair to that guy? How's that fair? Because he was a few feet away from the fucking county line?
Man, I'm getting it. I'm starting to get it. I'm getting it now.
This guy is a clown.
I've had
Kieran, he's a clown.
Oh,
he's I'm
completely.
And then his stupid brother fucking protects him on CNN every fucking night.
Oh God.
Sings his fucking praises, and then they get on together and they all joke about shit.
If there's anything that needs to be regulated in the world, it is 24-hour cable news. All has to be regulated.
No. Here's the problem.
Or eliminated from the planet.
Here's the thing what happened.
Yeah. Because that's not news CNN, at all. There's nothing news about it.
CNN used to be fucking true journalism. All right? True journalism. Okay? There was some amazing people that worked there over the years. But now it's all personalities. It's all personalities with their stupid fucking opinions. It's like, hey, I don't want to watch your. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Report the fucking news.
Well, basically, they went to opinions because you had 3 networks. You had 3 networks doing 24-hour news. They couldn't actually do the news because you can't decipher between one or the other. So,
by the way, every time I see him, he looks like he just finished sucking dick. You
Chris
know what I
Cuomo?
mean? Like his face is all sweaty. His lips are all glossy.
That's the guy
just sucked dick.
That's the guy that precedes him and follows him on CNN. They both do that.
Well, I think he's fucking on the ground gay too.
Yeah, I don't know. I believe that.
At least I have all the respect in the world for Anderson Cooper.
I think Cooper's great. I think Don Lemon is just a cocksucker.
They're one and the same. Him and Cuomo are one and the same. They're just one guy's white, one guy's black.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
And then and then Fox sucked. They all stink, man. They
all suck.
Chris, I don't know. We haven't spoken in a while. I eliminated my cable for the simple fact that I don't even want to see news anymore in my life. I don't want to see it. I don't care.
You could also just do it watch it online.
I know. I can't get rid of it. To be honest with you, I don't want it. Like I don't want to have the power to watch.
I watched a lot of it during the lead up to the election.
Yeah.
But that's it. I was done. I had my fill.
Just done. Yeah.
I was done.
So I think your story, I'm not trying to give Barstool a fucking plug here, but that dude does have $30 million in a fund. He does. And your story's good. And I guarantee you he knows what the stand is, or at least the people there do. And they know probably things that
KFC follows us.
Yeah. So you have, maybe fucking, I don't know, do something. I mean, Chris, if this is not you did an hour and 21 minutes about your story, you can listen to it here. Like, just put him in, listen to this. This is an hour. I know he probably doesn't have an hour to listen to it, but Christ almighty, it's a fucking nightmare, your story.
I don't know what to do anymore, to be honest.
Your club was a club where, guys like Kevin Hart and Andrew Dice Clay and fucking Artie Lang.
And everybody's like, oh, how come you guys can't just go to all the big comedians and ask them to donate to save the space or keep it going? It's like, I'm not.
No, why?
Responsibility?
It's not. Yeah.
It's not Kevin Hart's responsibility to save my fucking comedy club.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we've met a few times. He's a nice guy. I get along with him when he's here and when I've seen him in LA. But what are we talking about? I'm gonna go ask him for fucking money.
Yeah, you're gonna run up to Dave Chappelle and go, hey, how about a few?
There's some people that go, hey, you took the risk. You got to deal with it now. It's like there's this guy on fucking Twitter. I don't even want to say his name or whatever, but he's basically calculated everyone's worth. All the comedians, like all the big comics, worth Jerry Seinfeld and that.
Yeah,
it's like if they all just put in this amount, they could save all the comics. It's like that's their fucking money, dude.
Yeah, they earned it.
What am I gonna do? Yeah, you guys got to kick back to us. No, they don't have to do that. They don't have to do anything.
Right, because
what I mean? Like when they perform on our stage, that's them basically giving us something.
Yeah.
Let me do that. I want to get back to that. Let me get Jerry Seinfeld on my stage. Let me get Kevin Hart back on my stage. That's what's gonna fucking give me, enough to survive.
Right.
Let me do that. If you let me do that, I promise you we'll be here.
I was simply just trying to point out the fact that it's not like Chris runs an establishment that has like open mic nights every night. I mean, he has, the creme de la creme, the A-list, the guys, the legends, the future legends that come in and perform on his stage. So it's not like
we went from a 2,800 square foot space on 3rd Avenue to a 9,600 square foot space on 16th.
Yeah, with 2 stages.
With 2 stages. Understand what that is, like, for everybody. We tripled in size.
Right.
And
now we're empty.
We did it because we wanted, like, we knew it was something we had to do. Like, it was the right thing to do.
To compete.
We needed to compete, to expand our business, to actually make a consistent profit and, give back to the employees that have been here.
Right.
The fact that I can't give raises and I can't fucking, do what I want to do. Like the core managers that have been here with us the entire time, the fact that we had to cut back a little bit on their salary is fucked up.
Yeah.
because we just can't afford everybody. But if we cut back a little bit, we could afford to keep them on.
So in February, are you going to be able to do something again or no?
On the 14th, he's allowing 25%, which, by the way, so like what happens? That means rent kicks in. So now we owe rent, right? We have to probably bring in a few extra employees because we have to anticipate having people inside. But again, 25% and really not able to use the outside yet because it's still fucking cold. You're operating literally on just that 25%, and it's just not enough, man. No restaurant can survive on 25% capacity. And think about, we have a bigger space, so we can have a few extra people here. Think about a restaurant that has 20 tables.
Right.
At 25%,
and that's not.
They're operating on 5 tables.
5 fucking tables. That's insanity, dude. In New York City, to do that in the middle of Kansas would be hard. To do that in the middle of West Virginia would be hard. To do it in New York City is it's impossible.
It's impossible. So it's like, what are you doing?
Unless you're charging like $600 a burger.
What are you telling us at 25%?
Yeah.
You're telling us I don't give a shit enough about you or your restaurant,
right,
or whatever the fuck you do, because I got the rest of the state operating at 0.5%, half capacity. But you guys, fuck you.
Right.
Fuck you.
Unreal.
I mean, you're literally drowning all of us. You're taking our heads and you're pushing it in the water, and one by one they're dying. You're killing them, not them. They're not killing themselves. They're trying to survive. You're literally pushing their heads on the water.
Is this like? I mean, I don't know. It's like I'm like wondering if they're taking advantage of the COVID just to get rid of small business. I feel like that's what it is.
I feel like there's some kind of windfall.
Yeah.
That's basically they're gonna make a deal with fucking corporate chains, let them sweep through Manhattan, and get rid of any small business there was.
Because what you have described, anytime the government gets involved with you, or you have to go and talk to the government about some help or something, there's nothing but snafus after snafu in the literature they give you, in order for you not to have to like the loan thing, to have to pay it back.
Look, I went to college. My brother went to college. Are we the smartest people in the world? No. But the fact that he and I have to become diligent and read every single thing a million times, to catch something, to make sure.
Right.
Think about the time spent just on that.
Yeah, and they're paying like a fucking...
Because your language is so warped, I have to point out the absurdities of it in order for us to actually get anything.
Right.
They wrote that those bills and those rules. Some fucking lawyer did it.
Right. And I would imagine it was constructed...
Some lawyer within the government, whoever the fucking attorney... Whatever the fuck.
I would imagine
that's who's right. They're not consulting restaurant owners.
No,
they're
but
not saying,
they wrote
what
it.
Do you need?
I think their intention was to make it confusing, for you to say, fuck it, I don't want to take the money, and then make it certainly confusing for you to, if you wanted to take it, then you're gonna fuck up and have to pay us back.
When they first gave you the PPP,
it's a win-win for them. That thing.
When they first made you apply, when they first had you apply for PPP loans, the rules changed. Kieran, I kid you not, on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
You know what we did when we got the PPP
Makes
loan?
fucking sense, man. It's the government.
You know what we did? We banked it. We banked the whole loan. We said, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen because they keep changing the rules. So I'm not using it until I get fucking full clarity.
Yeah, that's smart.
Because if they fucking change the shit the way they've been changing it against us, I'm just going to write a fucking check and go, here, you can have this right back. I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
Because that's how fucked up it was. So it took about 3 months after we got the fucking loan to actually start using it, because we just were scared that some other fucking rule was going to change.
Right. You would do something, and then the rule will come in, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, we just screwed up
And they
not
go, hey,
knowing.
that's not allowed. We're not going to forgive that.
Right. Yeah, right.
So now,
Then you got to get lawyers involved and go to court.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
What a fucking nightmare.
It's ridiculous. And you know,
It's so unfortunate. I mean,
insult to injury. Like our license is not expiring anytime soon. But there have been friends of mine that have liquor licenses coming up for renewal.
Yeah.
Knowing how desperate everybody is. Why don't you just extend it through this period?
Right.
No, they wanted their fucking money in the state.
Right. Fuck you.
They wanted their $5,000 for the fucking liquor license renewal.
Fuck you. Pay me.
$5,000 at a time like this.
Yeah. For liquor.
And you have to pay it
Right.
all at once. They don't do payment plans.
Yeah.
That. You have to pay it. Otherwise, you got a 30-day time period and they take your license.
No shit.
And so a guy who has a bar,
Mm-hmm.
right, who can't open right now because he doesn't have food, it's just a bar. But he has to still pay for a liquor license that he can't use.
Holy shit.
Think about how warped.
Yeah.
It's warped. It's warped, dude. It doesn't make sense.
It's an absolute. I don't know.
I mean, think about it, man. Just think about the absurdity of what you're doing. You're asking me for $5,000 to renew my liquor license, but I have no idea when I can use it again. None.
This is like it really sad. I mean, is there anybody else in that facility with you right now? Are you the
No
only?
one here. And no one's
That
been here
is New
since
York.
6 o'clock.
That is New York City right now. Right now, currently, Chris.
I had a guy who came here for brunch at 2 o'clock, and he stayed till the end.
And that's it.
Just because it was unlimited mimosas. We do that brunch promo where you
Yeah.
come and eat.
Yeah.
And you can drink mimosas or Bloody Marys, all day long.
So you are sitting in the
So
middle.
I lost money on that guy because he just kept drinking.
You are currently sitting in a 9,600 square foot comedy club by yourself in the middle of Manhattan in a snowstorm.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Thanks to me to talk on this little podcast. Hey, it's good to get your story out there, though. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, that place used to be such a vibrant, before COVID, that place was so vibrant.
I'm not trying to brag. It was great to see it as vibrant as it was.
It was talked
have experienced a year away, meaning from our last location to the new location, we were gone a year, right?
Right.
We were doing pop-up shows all over the city and stuff just to keep the fan base, fed.
Right. Keep the name out there.
But to be away from our home for a year, to have it open, to go through tragedy, to fucking face this pandemic, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. And, it takes a toll on all of us. We're all, we're now 3 partners. Used to be 4. And because it's 3 and not 4, the toll is even greater because 3 of us now have to make up for the 4th.
Right.
And, I got to say, there's been a lot of emotional moments in that we would say, certainly many times, we can't let this fail because we don't want to let it fail for him.
Yeah, I understand that.
We don't want that to happen. We want his kids to have a place to go for years upon years, to feel like they're part of something too.
This is what my dad...
their father built and their father was a part of. Not just building the location, but building a culture, and understanding how important that was and still is. Because it's not just a restaurant. It's a place where comedians are nurtured. It's a place where creativity is nurtured. It's a place where, we do have a fantastic restaurant, and it's a great place to hang out. And people literally come here to have joy. And it's all he ever give a fuck about. He didn't even know whether or not we'd make a fucking dime off this place. But the fact that there would be people enjoying themselves and something he took part in and created, that's what motivated him. And that's what motivated me and everybody else. And we did it for the right reasons. Like, listen, I mean, I like the same guy who I told you, like who I invest with and says, fuck off if I ever tell him how to, invest money or anything like that.
Yeah.
That same guy said, you'll never make money in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
Don't do this to yourself.
Right.
To a man, we were all told, don't do this.
Right.
Because you will never make money. They're right. They're absolutely right.
But it's not through your own. It's not
And
because
again,
of lack of talent or creativity.
We were advised.
Yeah.
Despite what we were advised, we did it because we had a passion for it.
Right.
We did it because we felt it was needed.
I remember
You know what
that.
I
I
mean?
remember going to see you and Dave before the first stand ever opened up in your offices. I don't know what those. There was I guess the CH offices, right?
Yeah.
And
on 14th Street.
it's something. It was a long time ago. It was a really long time ago, and yeah, I remember just being up there, and you were talking about we're building this comedy club, and it's pretty much based around how us as a group view comedy. We want to have a place where people can go and do uncensored stuff and
create a home.
Yeah,
Create a real home for comedians.
Yeah, we're not
home for comedy fans.
Yeah, home for comedy fans.
What we wanted was to we wanted to lift up the fucking what the idea of going to a comedy club was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be some divey place with 2 drink minimums. It was supposed to be a place you would go and hang out for 5 hours.
Right. The culture.
Even if you were by yourself, you can come here, watch 2 shows if you wanted, watch 3 shows if you wanted, have dinner, drink at the bar, meet new people, create friendships. There have been people that have met here, that got engaged here, that have gone on to get married. I mean, like it's a special place for those types of reasons, right? I mean, and every restaurant has those stories. And to be treated the way we're being treated, it's like really, man? Did we really got to deal with this? And what's even worse is this guy, for some reason, has it out for fucking comedy.
Cuomo.
He singled us out one time in a radio interview he did.
Andrew Cuomo.
Andrew Cuomo singled out comedy clubs and said, "Are they really essential? Do we really need to laugh? Go to a place and laugh.
Now I'm an Andrew.
You can do that at home. And but your fucking press conferences are a ball of laughs.
Right? Yeah, here it is again, right here.
You can make jokes about your
Get engaged
family and
on
the fact that you're
Valentine's Day.
single.
Yeah, get engaged on Valentine's Day and have the party on the 15th.
And basically, so he's saying have the party in March when they're allowing gatherings of up to 150 people.
Oh,
outdoors.
in March. Yeah.
Outdoors.
Yeah.
Guess what's outdoors? City fucking parks that you have to pay for permits to get married in.
You fucking cocksucker.
City and state parks. Kieran, where else can you get married outdoors?
What's happening in my home state, dude? What's happening in my home state?
You got some restaurant, some rooftop places,
Yeah.
I'm sure, that are going to charge an arm and a leg to fucking get married in. But otherwise, if you want to get married outdoors, you get married on state and city beaches and parks.
Yeah,
and they're going to charge.
Are clubs like this Comedy Cellar and Caroline's and those?
No one's open, man.
They're all fucking done, huh?
No,
Everything's
fuck
closed.
The Dangerfields called it a day. That's the oldest
Yeah,
club in New York.
that's right. Yeah,
They basically said we're done. We're not coming back.
right.
Creek in the Cave was a small indie theater in Queens and Long Island City. Did a lot of alternative comedy.
Yeah,
And it was run by this woman, Rebecca Trent, who's basically like the mother hen of comedy in New York City. Everybody who knows. She's gone, and she had been there for over 10 years, and she's just gone. And it's fucking sad because she helped so many people at that venue along the way. And I mean, she couldn't make it.
No.
She couldn't make it. She got the initial loan, but you couldn't make it to the next loan. It's over. I mean, think about it. You spent your last 10 plus years building this fucking place. And you saw the highs and lows of it. You watched amazing things be created there. And now it's gone. And you
no fault of your own.
And you wake up every morning, you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, what do I do now?
Right.
this was my life.
Right.
I have nothing else. What do I do now? And that's what people are saying. And there's some people who fucking, hurt themselves. There's some people that become even more dire. Because what do they have left, man? They're drinking, doing drugs. They're fucking, homeless. I mean, it's, people are like, well, what are you supposed to do with the pandemic? Everybody's going to get sick. People are dying. It's like, yeah, I get it. I get that part. But you're basically making us choose the way we die.
Right.
Either you're going to die from a virus or you're going to die from dire circumstances. Either way, you suffer.
As a small business owner, yeah.
And then you got a governor making jokes on a fucking stage. How ironic is that?
Fucking shit. Wow. That's a good way to wrap it up, by the way.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Chris. I kind of had an idea, but not really to the extent.
It's been a marathon.
I literally didn't think we were going to do an hour and 45 minutes on that.
I'm sorry.
But it was important to do. I had things loaded up. I'll do this on the next show, but I had like a, fat guy thing, and I had Paige Spernick. I had
I thought we were gonna do the random questions. Like a flash.
I think
I'll
save them for, maybe I'll, I don't know.
Are you doing a show next week for the Super Bowl? No, right?
No, I will not be doing it. I'll probably do another show before then. I'm not doing a show.
You want to do one random question?
I want to do a random question.
Let's do one random question. Just to end on something happier.
It's something positive. Yeah. Hold on, I gotta find my notes. I don't know what I did with them. Oh, did I? Hold on. Is it? What a terrible fucking. Oh my God. I don't know how you get up in the morning. I really don't. I don't know how you do it. But it's good that you are, because you're fighting a good fight.
By the way, starting tomorrow, I'm putting a shirt on sale.
What is it?
We've never done merch, by the way.
Oh, the stand's never done merch? I always wanted a Stand NYC t-shirt.
And that's something we just never did. It was always kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
But Elon Musk, like 2 weeks ago, put out a tweet that said, legalize comedy.
That's hilarious. I saw that.
And I'm going to take that, put it on a fucking shirt.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell it from the stand.
Absolutely.
So look out for that, guys. We're selling hoodies and fucking t-shirts and all that stuff. Proceeds will go to our staff and trying to help people survive here. But either way, you need a motivation to wear that shirt. I mean, it's basically everyone go fuck themselves. That's why we want.
I want one of those. I'll pay $60 for a legalized comedy.
I think it's much cheaper than that.
I'm just saying.
I appreciate it.
Just to help out, I'll pay $60.
I think we're like doing like $20, $25.
That's fine, but make it $35. Give yourself an extra. People selling $35.
No problem.
I mean, fucking Mark Wahlberg's got a whole fucking line of bullshit out there. It's the worst name for fucking goddamn a line of clothing.
What is it?
It's called Municipal. It's called Municipal, right? It's like but it.
You know what it was?
What?
He basically just said, let's take the most corporate or political state word, most boring word, and see if I can make money on it.
Right, and you think it would be like a clothing line developed like low prices for the working class. A T-shirt is like $65. Mark Wahlberg is so backwards, dude. Fuck that guy.
I forgot how much you hate him.
Dude, I hate Mark Wahlberg he's one of them things. God. He's just, it just annoys me that I don't know for certainty, but I know he's the biggest colossal douche ever. And if
I don't agree.
But
I get it.
Personally, like if you couldn't hang out with a guy and be like,
he's a really cool guy.
I don't think so. Have him come to the club. You hang out with him for a night. I guarantee you at the end of that night,
I've met his brother.
Yeah, I'm sure he's great, but Mark, in particularly, you're going to be like, that guy rubbed me the wrong way.
All right.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I just know it. I can smell it. Like I can smell, vagina.
I'll find out. I'll do some digging to see what kind of person he is.
I'm telling you, there's somebody
I've never
you
heard
know.
anything bad. I've never heard anything bad about him.
Yeah, but he's such a dude. The guy's worth like $500 million.
Look what he did with Michelle Williams. He gave her. It was that movie, All the Money in the World.
Mm.
He had to come in to replace Kevin Spacey after the whole sex thing.
Yeah.
And she was getting paid like fucking peanuts. And they gave him like $10 million to come in after everything was filmed and to do all the Kevin Spacey scenes.
All right, I'm not saying the guy hasn't done everything.
And she was like, look, I'm not here to complain, but, $10 million. I've been working on this film for, 2 years.
Right.
And he gave her fucking half his money.
All right. I mean, I guess he's done some good things,
I mean, come on. A shithead doesn't do that. That's a guy with a conscience, so you're going to,
Yeah, but do you think he didn't benefit somehow? Like he
didn't have to do it. He could have just shut his mouth and not said anything. I'm
just saying. There's something about him. I'm just saying. I don't know for certain. I'm just saying there's something there. I don't want to do. Well, I'm going to save the random questions because they're,
Just do one.
There's not many great ones. I mean, there are some. I love the people that were sending in the random questions. Random question at lunaticradio.com. Random question at lunaticradio.com.
It's the only fan interaction of the whole show.
Okay, here's a random question. If you could have dinner with anyone, who would it be? And another additional random question.
Alive or dead?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, he didn't specify. That's from Michael Beasy.
It's a sentimental thing. I mean, it's definitely gonna be someone
alive or dead. Yeah, anybody.
I mean, I got the go-to is I lost my cousin a long time ago to Hodgkin's disease. Should be the number one person I would go to dinner with. Come on, man.
Michael Beasy sent that random question in. If you could have dinner with anybody, who would it be? Mine would be absolutely. I'm thinking about in the moment. I live in a moment. Okay, Leroy Jenkins is going. Leroy Jenkins is going with Dave Portnoy. Not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Leroy's big into the Dave Portnoy, I guess. I'm gonna go with the Instagram golfer model Paige Spernick because she's just very.
I would do Andrew Cuomo.
Andrew Cuomo. There you go.
In the moment.
In the moment.
I can look at him while I'm cutting steak the entire time. This is what I've been going through.
Yeah. Hey Andrew, I'm gonna cut 20. I'm just gonna eat. I'm just gonna eat 25% of this and save the rest.
Yeah. See, getting off on a high note.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, there's Paige Spernick, everybody. See her on your screens if you're watching it on YouTube. She's got great cans, and she does the golfing thing on the Instagrams that everybody loves.
Don't forget the silhouette challenge on TikTok.
Yeah, don't forget the silhouette challenge on TikTok because Chris is into that shit. All right. So that's the, it was small business jamboree right here on the Lunatic Radio Show. It really was. I was planning on doing a regular radio show, but fuck it. We need to know. Hey, Chris, talk for a second. Can I hear your voice over the music?
I don't know. Can you?
No, you can't. Something's wired. Something is still wired wrong.
Damn music.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the music because I want to hear you say goodbye. So thank you for checking out the.
Thanks for listening to my drivel for the last 2 hours or whatever it's been. I appreciate the time to vent. If anyone hears it, just know that there's a lot of people worse off than even we are.
Yeah,
and it's a pretty bad fucking time for people.
Is the Stand NYC on TikTok? It's not.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes, it is on all social media. The Stand NYC.
The Stand NYC at the Stand NYC on all social medias: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and whatever the fuck else is out there. The country needs to hear this story. Leroy Jenkins. Yes, absolutely. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Lunatic Radio Show. There'll be one more show before the Super Bowl. Okay, I'll figure out when. Later.